There are moments in life when people search for shortcuts, when they crave simple formulas for success, peace, or mastery. Yet the path of real strength and deep transformation is never found in shortcuts. It is found in rules. Not rules that imprison you, but rules that liberate you. Rules that are not cages, but keys. They open the invisible locks within the mind, within the body, within the spirit. And when followed with discipline, with faith, and with patience, these rules become the pillars of an unshakable life. The first rule is presence, to be here fully without scattering your attention into the noise of the past or the endless fears of the future. Presence is not something that comes to you. It is something you create. You build it by returning again and again to this moment. You breathe and you recognize that this breath is your life. You observe when you recognize that this step is your path. And when the mind begins to drift, as it always does, you return with gentleness, but with firmness, as a master returns a horse to the path. If you can live with presence, then the world slows down. Your choices become clearer. Your reactions become deliberate instead of automatic. Presence is the gatekeeper to mastery. The second rule is discipline. Many want greatness, but few want to pay the price of greatness. Discipline is that price. Discipline is not punishment, it is training. It is the act of repeating the right action, even when the easier action tempts you. It is rising when you want to sleep. It is practicing when you want to rest. It is speaking with truth when a lie could protect you. Discipline is the act of serving your highest self rather than your momentary self. And the one who walks with discipline does not wait for motivation. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that burns through the cold nights. The third rule is humility. Power without humility collapses. Skill without humility corrupts. To remain humble is to remain teachable. It is to recognize that no matter how high you rise, there is always another step, that no matter how much you know, there is always another truth. Humility is not weakness. Humility is strength held with grace. It is the ability to bend without breaking, to listen when your pride wants to speak, to bow not in defeat, but in respect. Humility allows you to grow without limit because the soil of humility is fertile for wisdom. The fourth rule is consistency. A single effort changes little. 1,000 efforts repeated with patience change everything. Consistency is the quiet hammer that shapes stone. It is the gentle drip of water that hollows the rock. Many people burn brightly for a moment and then vanish into ashes. Few endure. Consistency is not glamorous. It is not celebrated. It is built in the invisible hours, in the small choices repeated daily. If you want mastery, do not ask yourself what you can do once. Ask yourself what you can do 1,000 times without giving up. The body, the mind, the spirit, they are shaped not by rare explosions of effort, but by the steady rhythm of consistent practice. The fifth rule is silence. In a world filled with noise, silence is a rare treasure. Silence is not merely the absence of words, it is the presence of listening. It is in silence that you hear your heart. It is in silence that you hear the wisdom life is whispering to you. When you learn to sit in silence, to walk in silence, to train in silence, you cultivate a mind that is calm even amidst storms. Silence is the forge where clarity is shaped. For when you stop speaking, you begin to hear. And when you begin to hear, you begin to see. The sixth rule is patience. Nothing truly valuable grows overnight. A seed does not become a tree in a day. A student does not become a master in a season. Patience is the companion of discipline, the ally of consistency. It is the refusal to demand that life move at your speed. Patience is not passive waiting, it is active persistence. It is doing the work without demanding an immediate reward. It is trusting the process when the results seem invisible. Patience is the shield against despair. For with patience you know that the fruit always comes, but only in its time. The seventh rule is courage. Life is filled with fear, and fear is natural. But courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to walk forward despite fear. Courage is speaking the truth when silence would be safer. Courage is stepping into the unknown when the known feels secure. Courage is choosing growth over comfort, destiny over ease. Without courage, no other rule can survive, for fear will always sabotage presence. Discipline, humility, consistency, silence, and patience. Courage is the bridge between who you are and who you can be. The eighth rule is balance. Too much force breaks, too much softness weakens, too much striving exhausts, too much surrender stagnates. Balance is the art of walking between extremes without being enslaved by either. Balance is knowing when to push and when to rest, when to speak and when to remain silent, when to advance and when to retreat. Without balance, you burn out or fade away. With balance, you endure and thrive. The path is long, and only balance allows you to walk it fully. The ninth rule is gratitude. Gratitude transforms perception. What you see as burden becomes blessing. What you see as obstacle becomes opportunity. Gratitude opens the eyes to the wealth already present. It teaches you that lack is often an illusion and abundance is often ignored. Gratitude is not a weakness of the soft-hearted, it is a strength of the awakened. To wake each day and give thanks is to arm yourself with a perspective that no storm can shatter. Gratitude disarms envy, dissolves bitterness, and roots you in the reality of life's gifts. The tenth rule is service. A life lived only for oneself is a small life. True mastery is not measured by what you keep, but by what you give. Service is the act of turning your strength into shelter for others, your wisdom into guidance, your victories into inspiration. Service expands the soul beyond the prison of selfishness. It connects you to something greater than yourself. And in serving, you are served. In lifting others, you rise. In giving, you receive. The 11th rule is resilience. You will fall, you will fail, you will be tested. Resilience is the rule that ensures the fall does not become final. Resilience is the ability to stand again, to rise again, to move again. It is not about never breaking, but about never remaining broken. Resilience is fireproofing the spirit so that when flames come, you emerge stronger. It is knowing that defeat is temporary, but surrender is permanent. Resilience teaches you that nothing can truly destroy you if you refuse to stay down. The 12th rule is clarity. Confusion leads to wasted energy, wasted life. Clarity is the compass of the soul. To know what you want, to know who you are, to know why you act. This clarity saves years of wandering. Clarity is not always easy to find, but it can always be sought. It is born from reflection, from silence, from honest questioning. Without clarity, discipline has no direction, consistency has no aim, courage has no destination. With clarity, every step becomes part of a meaningful path. The 13th rule is alignment. To live with divided selves is to live in conflict. Alignment means your thoughts, your words, and your actions walk together. When you think one thing, speak another, and do yet another, you fracture your strength. But when you align, when thought, word, and deed march as one, your life gains power. Alignment creates integrity, and integrity is unbreakable. Alignment is the secret behind the most powerful lives. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is contradicted. Everything moves in one direction. The 14th rule is adaptability. The tree that refuses to bend will break in the storm. The mind that refuses to change will shatter under new truths. Adaptability is not weakness, it is survival. It is learning to dance with change instead of fighting it. Adaptability means you remain yourself while shifting shape. You remain rooted while flowing with the river. Life will never stay the same. To cling rigidly is to suffer. To adapt gracefully is to grow. The 15th rule is simplicity. Complexity is often confusion in disguise. Simplicity is clarity revealed. To simplify is to cut away the unnecessary, the trivial, the distracting. It is to focus on what matters most. Simplicity does not mean doing less. It means doing what counts. A simple path walked with depth is worth more than 1,000 scattered pursuits. Simplicity sharpens the blade of life. It reduces noise and amplifies truth. The 16th rule is self-control. The body desires, the mind craves, the emotions surge. Without control, you are a slave to them. With control, you are master of them. Self-control is the rule that allows you to act, not react, to choose, not to be dragged, to live as a creator, not as a captive. Self-control is not suppression, it is direction. It channels energy into purpose rather than waste. Without self-control, freedom is impossible. With self-control, freedom becomes inevitable. And so the path reveals itself not through secrets hidden in distant mountains, but through the rules we choose to embody each day. They are not abstract ideas, they are living practices. They shape how you breathe, how you move, how you rise, how you fall, how you love, how you serve. If you allow them to guide you, they will carve strength into your body, clarity into your mind, and peace into your spirit. Do not wait for the perfect moment to begin. The perfect moment is already here. Step into it with presence, walk it with discipline, hold it with humility, sustain it with consistency, and let silence, patience, and courage be your companions. Keep balance as your center, gratitude as your vision, service as your purpose, and resilience as your armor. Seek clarity, live in alignment, flow with adaptability, treasure simplicity, and guard yourself with self-control. In this way, you will not only master yourself, you will become a living reminder of what is possible when one human being chooses to follow a higher way. This is not a path for the faint-hearted, but it is a path for the willing. And if you are willing, then every step from this moment forward can lead you closer to the life that was always waiting for you to claim it.